Well, happy Monday, everyone. We have a windstorm going on here, so I'm hoping it's not going to affect our internet. But I want to welcome all of you tonight. Got a great program. Get your Cellercisers. We're going to be dealing with strength, building up muscle mass, a little bone density, and just overall strength and fitness. So a couple weeks ago, we did the flexibility program and kind of takes the place of stretching. This week, we're going to be doing strength, and the next time we get on here, we're going to be doing weight loss and aerobics. And I've asked Brooklyn to actually demonstrate some of the techniques that she's learned that's been very effective on the Cellerciser as well. So she's helped a number of people already. So we're going to start off with some questions, or actually some customer reviews. And I want to thank all of you again for keeping Cellercise in business, for sharing your stories with others, for those you have worked diligently to influence and to help. I have the phone calls all the time with people with all kinds of conditions and issues, and some of the approaches that they've taken with the Cellerciser. Doctors and health practitioners have been wonderful to work with, and they've given me a lot of insights and ongoing information as well, and I really appreciate all of you. But we're all in this together. We have a greater health potential. Cellercise is designed to help us to achieve it. It's based upon the premise that when our cells are stronger, healthier, and working more efficiently, our body parts and functions are going to be stronger and healthier and working more efficiently as well. And that's for people of all ages. I've been doing this now for over 30 years. Brooklyn grew up watching me on the Cellerciser. I do not do any weightlifting. I don't do other strength exercises. There's, in the industry, in the fitness industry today, and for many, many, many years, we've been taught that you have to tear down to build up. And although that works, it's more of a manipulation on the body. And you've heard me say it before, we're the only species in the world that does that. In reality, all we have to do is apply weight or stress to the cell tissue, the cell membrane. The cell responds by fortifying the membrane with more protein because it doesn't want to rupture. It doesn't really care where the increase of weight comes from or how sophisticated the piece of equipment is. The Cellerciser took me years to develop, but what it does is it creates resistance. We have to have resistance to move the lymph system, to move the circulation through the body, to build up muscle mass and bone density. If it's too sluggish, then that's going to be the result on the body. The body is going to be more sluggish as well. You do not have to jump high on a good rebounder. Jumping high just means the body's floating. It's not really doing anything. Jumping high is great for tricks. It's good for trampolines. But on a rebounder or the Cellerciser, we want to stay fairly close to the mat. You can jump high, but the objective is for fitness, health, strength. When you're closer to the mat, you have enough resistance on the Cellerciser that the cells are expanding and contracting over 100 times a minute. And as they do, that increase of weight and that intensity is going to open up the circulatory system, is going to help increase oxygen flow to the brain, is going to help strengthen bones, ligaments, tendons, skin, fascia, all throughout the muscles, all throughout the body. Okay, let's go ahead and read a few customer reviews, and then I would just put these in order. I don't know what happened. They're not in order. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. There we go. Well, I wanted to read some of the ones on strength because that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Okay. And here they are. All right. Charlene writes, addictive and so much fun. It was one of the most efficient tools to help build lean muscles. I'm not joking. But within 6 months, I've developed muscles I never had before. I thought that was appropriate to read tonight, and thank you, Charlene, for sending that. I purchased Cellerciser a number of years back and have thoroughly been enjoying it. So this is somebody who's been on it for a while. I would like to take the combination of calisthenics, isometric, and isotonic exercise combined on the Cellerciser more seriously to retain and build more muscle mass. I've been going to the gym and build a good physique and would like to keep this with a bit more muscle mass by using the Cellerciser and potentially not hitting the gym that much. And you can do that. In fact, we had a bodybuilder who's on our DVD and video that comes with each unit. Wade McNutt, he's now Wade Lightheart, and Wade won 3 championship bodybuilding competitions incorporating Cellercise with his training. And he couldn't believe how fast he received the results, how little downtime he had, how the inflammation, the swelling didn't occur, he didn't have the soreness. It was just one competition after another. And he has been a great advocate and good friend promoting the benefits of Cellercise ever since. So I would really appreciate it if you can guide me on the mass building side of things with the Cellerciser, as this is a unique concept for muscle building and seems it can be as effective. Please see my questions below on mass building with the Cellerciser. The higher you jump in the Cellerciser, the more effective when doing a muscle building isotonic exercise. Not really, because if you're targeting muscles, you want to leverage the weight on those particular muscles. If you want to build bone density and some strength, yeah, you can jump a little higher, but you can also leverage your own body weight. And when you leverage it, which we're going to do tonight, you alter the angle of your body in different positions. So entire muscle groups have to tense up to hold the position while you're bouncing up and down, applying more weight. Not just to those muscles though, to the entire body. There's nothing I don't think there's anything like the Cellerciser to do that. The harder you press against the other hand, as you show in your DVD for mass building, the better the workout for cells to build more muscle mass, ? Yeah, we're going to apply an increase of weight, so the cells have to become strong enough to be able to resist that weight, and that's how we build it. You mentioned in your DVD to do an isometric exercise by counting to 100. So does one do, say, 4 times sets of 100? I think we will answer those questions when we do the demonstration tonight. Can one do various mass building exercises for different days of the week? Monday, chest, biceps; Tuesdays, back and legs, shoulders and triceps. Remember, Cellercise is totally different from typical exercise. You are welcome to do that. And the advantage of having the Mr. Rebounder app is that you can take and incorporate all these various different movements into different routines and save the routines for different days of the week. So you are in control. So you can target that. But you don't have the downtime on a Cellerciser that you would on a typical piece of exercise equipment that's tearing down to build up. They say do it every other day simply because the cells have to fortify their memory and repair it because it's been torn. And it takes a day to repair it, and then you work a different part of the body while it's being repaired, and then you come back to that part of the body. And although it works, it's damaging your muscles. Okay, it's damaging your tissue, and the body's having to repair the damage that's being done. So on a Cellerciser, you can do it every day. You can do it several times a day. You're not tearing down to build up. You're just building and making even the weakest cells stronger. Is muscle building exercise on the Cellerciser as effective as exercises like push-ups? Meaning, when I do push-ups, it takes a lot more effort versus Cellercising with an isometric chest mass building exercise by pressing my hands together in front of my chest as you show. Are the results the same? Again, I can do push-ups. I mean, I can still do over 100 push-ups if I want to sit down and do them. And it's kind of neat to know that I can do that. But the Cellerciser gives me more strength. In fact, if you ever try to do push-ups before a Cellercise routine, then do your routine where you would think you'd be weaker, and then do push-ups again, just so you can see how much stronger you are. So it's we've had some great results with women. A woman who was talking too fast in the fire department, and they have to qualify with in different exercises. and she was having a hard time with doing push-ups. She started Cellercising and did some of the programs that I taught her, and it blew her fire chief away, just blew him away. So they ended up getting a Cellerciser for the fire department. It gives you a competitive advantage. So whatever it is you want to do, Cellercise is just going to help enhance it so you get better, faster results more effectively. And I really believe that. I purchased your Rebounder App, which is great for aerobics and calisthenics exercises, but there was nothing for isometrics and isotonic exercises for mass building. Any reason for this? Yes, we simply hadn't gotten it done yet. Okay, update on Mr. Rebounder, the app. It is done except for 3 movements, which were sent in today. There are movements that I don't want to release it until I know they work, because it's going to be great for children. And I want those movements for children as well. But there's always seems to be something. Those 3 movements they worked on today, they've sent it in to our technicians. Our technicians are going to be reviewing it tonight. We should know tomorrow. If everything works out, they'll set it up so I can go through a testing, and then we'll launch it. So we're this close. I want to thank you all for your patience. We are going to do more movements tonight that are in the new app, or will be in the new app as soon as it is released. As for the muscle mass you put on using the Cellerciser with assist, only doing Cellerciser exercises and nothing else. Brooklyn, do I do anything else?
No.
No, I don't. No, I barely have time to do my Cellercising, but I do it. And I do that every day, virtually. I've been a few days I've missed it. The bodybuilder testimonial that you have, was he doing both gym and Cellercising together? Yes, he was. He was doing 30 seconds of Cellercising in between stations at the gym. It says, I've built a good physique now going to the gym and would like to keep it by just doing Cellercising if possible. Not sure if I should still be going to the gym, but less now when I do Cellercising mass building exercises. Will mass building exercises on this Cellerciser be enough? Well, we had a 6th, 7th degree black belt out of Scottsdale, Arizona. He was the dean of I know what it is. What's the name of that academy? I've mentioned it before. Thunderbird Academy in Scottsdale, Arizona. And he had a health condition that was preventing him from being able to go to the gym and doing the exercises that he wanted to do. But he didn't want to lose everything he had built, because he had a phenomenal physique. And I said, whatever your mass is, as long as you maintain and continue to Cellercise, you're going to take and continue to challenge the cell membrane at the weight and what you've achieved. And as long as you continue to challenge whatever your muscle mass is, then the cells are receiving that message so that they retain what you've built. Well, he would call me for several years, letting me know, Dave, I still have it. Dave, I still have it. He didn't lose it. And I really appreciated that relationship. On the DVD, with your 10-minute workout on the Cellerciser, which is not easy and takes some getting used to, how many calories would you say one burns in those 10 minutes? A lot. Tonight, we're going to be only burning about 250 calories, but we're going to be burning or building more muscle mass. And as we build more muscle mass, then we're going to increase our metabolic processes anyway, so that the muscle to fat ratio can slowly begin to change, and it's easier to burn off or burn fuel. How is your protein intake when working on building muscle on the Cellerciser? I eat protein every day, so I don't pay enough attention. I admit that to the diet portion of it. I probably should and could, but I think the Cellerciser helps to compensate a lot for the things that I may not follow as stringently as I maybe should. It helps get rid of things quicker. It helps to utilize things more efficiently. The cells, as you're moving up and down, they have access to more oxygen and nutrients because of the pumping action and the movement through the fluid. There's just so many benefits that I believe make it more efficient. Do you have an exact mass building routine that you do currently? No, in fact, the routine we're going to do tonight, I've never done this full routine. I did it tonight so that I could help incorporate and give you an idea of what we can accomplish. Some of those movements you're not going to be ready for. Depending on what your level's at. And somebody asked me, they said, well, how come you can't do a whole live program? And if that's what we're doing. But at the same time, I want you to be cautious and not exceed what you're comfortable with. There are several different movements you can use to replace the movements we're going to be doing. I'll go over some of those. Because we want to have a good experience on the Cellerciser. And the reason I don't like doing videos is because one size has to fit all feet. There's no change. The advantage of the Mr. Rebounder app is you are in control. So you can go to a routine and you can change it up. You can remove a movement, you can add a new movement, you can change the time, and then you can say the routine for yourself. And that's the beauty behind the Mr. Rebounder app. Plus, you don't have to listen to me talk all the time. You can be watching a television program or a show and have the Mr. Rebounder app on, which is what we do. What about using resistance band while Cellercising? You can, but I think just using your own resistance is fine. I don't use a resistance band. The only time I would use a resistance band, and we did that on the Mr. Rebounder app, is for increasing flexibility in the shoulders while we're moving up and down. And we're going to do that routine probably next month, so we'll do that. There we go. Okay, thanks again for sharing your time and wisdom the other day with me. It was most useful. I'm very grateful for it. Some feedback for you with a couple questions, which has popped up ever since our conversation on the isometric exercises. Woodworking the shoulders, and when we do the forward lean and back kick and arms out for a count of 100, the shoulders burn and can feel them working out. And this is without tensing the shoulders and arms while stretched out. So if I had to tense the shoulders like an isometric, would this work the muscle more? Yes, and we are going to do that tonight. One of the routines that we're going to be doing is for the front of the arm, or more for the back of the arm, a little bit of the front, but in the back of the arm. And that is going to work your shoulders. You're going to feel that. You're going to work on the muscles and the ligaments and strengthening the shoulders, but we're also going to be working on getting them and keeping them flexible. What I notice with arms is I can be doing resistance arm exercise by tensing the muscles while Cellercising and feel the arms working out. But even if I don't do any resistance and hold my arms in a certain position, relax, as if I do a chest press isometric, no tension, the biceps bounce up and down while jumping. The biceps then start to burn, also like the shoulder would with the forward lean in a relaxed state. So again, how is the effectiveness of this positioning and effectiveness versus resistance when both feel like they give a good workout? Thanks again. I'm back into Cellercising now every day, Morgan. Well, we're going to stop there, but remember, Cellercise is totally different from typical exercise. We're not just applying weight or stress to certain muscles. We're not just resisting gravity. We're virtually increasing the weight of gravity. So it's on every muscle, every cell. That's including the biceps. You can simply be bouncing up and down like this without, on the Cellerciser, to create this weight, an enormous amount of weight-bearing activity. And you can feel it just by grabbing your shoulders. Grab these muscles up here and bounce up and down on the Cellerciser. Totally different than doing it on the ground. You're weightless and then weight. Weightless weight. You've got all of this dynamic that's working on the muscles everywhere throughout your entire body. So it's a full body exercise. And you can target certain areas of the body simply by doing different movements and altering the angle of our body in different positions. We're going to be talking about that. So, okay, I'm going to read this because I don't think this person understands the difference in it's a good question, appreciate the question, but I want to explain again that a lot of people out there doing exercises that you can follow along with them on. and you have to pretty much follow along with what they do. And a lot of people like that. Nothing against it. If that motivates you and it's great, wonderful. The Mr. Rebounder app has over 30 pre-made routines for beginning, intermediate, advanced, seniors, and create your own. We're going to be creating a lot more of them, and we're going to encourage you to create a lot more of them too, and then share them with us. But everybody's at a different level. And she says, I would love for you to record a full body workout that we can save and do daily instead of the cartoon app. Full body as well as muscle definition for the arms and move to firm neck and face. Last week we talked a little bit more about the neck and face, but tonight we will. I'm going to be doing a whole routine with you. And I want to encourage you, if you have the Mr. Rebounder app, I will put this routine into it as soon as we have it up. So you will see that. You'll have access to it as you get the different movements. But the whole purpose of it is so that you can adapt it to fit you and so that you're comfortable with it. Will these moves from the live be in the app? Yes. Yes, they will. Hi, Dave. Hope you and your family are well and are all safe. My husband and I met you and bought 2 Cellercisers from you a while ago at the New York Health Expo. That was a long time ago, probably 15 years ago. We both had spine surgeries. One of the trampoline springs came off the other leg. Can I still use it without injuring us? Okay, let's talk about that. Our legs don't break. The legs have a spring on it, and that spring can come out. If that's not normally, but if the leg is in between the hook of the spring that's on the frame, for example, I show it here. All right, so if I grab this leg, let's show you. Oh, here. Okay. All right, so this is the spring, this is the leg. This is how I pull it up and hook it, bend it, hook it into the coils. So we take the tension off of that part of it, so you don't have to hold it out. But what we would end up doing is pulling the spring back out of the leg, and sometimes it's hooked in the bottom of the leg on this pin. You just pound it to the ground, spring comes out, tie a string, bend this over, have a little space in between it, tie a piece of string, pull it, hook it back through the leg, hook it on the little hook that's at the bottom of the leg. Again, that's right there. And once you hook it, you'll pull it up, bend it over, and then you'll feed it back on. Occasionally, you might want to take a look at your Cellerciser, take a look at each one of the legs and make sure that they're all crimped right here. You can take a pair of pliers and needle nose pliers and just bend that over once it's on so that the leg can't get in between the hook so it doesn't open it up. But this is piano wire. This is excellent wire. I mean, it's not cheap at all. It's a high quality. And then you put it back on. You want to just feed it through the hole, give it a little tug, and it's all back on. I can put the bounce bar back on. Okay, so if you got your Cellercisers ready, this is a longer routine, but it goes by pretty quick. So we have fun with it. Again, we now have the wireless play-in modules available on the Cellerciser. For those who haven't seen it, it looks just like this. So if you have the Mr. Rebounder app, and I'm going to go back to home, you can go to settings, and on the settings you connect the Bluetooth device. It says no device found, so there's a little button on the back. You just hit that little button and it turns from red to green, and then when it connects, it'll turn it to blue. Connected. Just stick it back on. You don't have to take it off to do that though. And then I'm going to go back to my Cellercise routine and down to my workouts, because I just created this. This is our muscle strength 1. And are there any questions, Brooklyn? No. Good. All right, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with everybody. I hope can see that. Can they see the screen okay, Brookie? Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, I'll talk as we're going through it, but we're going to warm up the body first. And I think I'm going to turn on some music, but just turn it down. All right. One of the advantages if you're in any athletic sports at all, you get on the Cellerciser, you move up and down. Like I said, we've got the winds blowing really hard tonight. As you're moving up and down, all the cell tissue is being warmed up. So for stretching or... Too loud? Okay. Keep going. 10 seconds. All right. I'll talk up a little bit too. Okay, now we're going to do the hip rock. Yep. Okay, hip rock. Now, when you're doing this, I want you to kind of lift the shoulders up and down some, because it helps to open up the circulation and loosen all the muscles in the body as well. The Cellercise, it's fun, it's efficient, it's easy. You can do it at any age. We have people that have been doing it for, that are in their 90s. They started with me in their late 60s and 70s. They're in their 90s now, and they call up to say thank you. You know, many of you who've been doing this, the benefits, getting it out to the rest of the world. That's been the challenge. So if you have anybody you can share this with, and share one of our YouTube programs, or this will be on YouTube, I appreciate it, because it's making a difference. Okay, twist. And again, we're working all the internal organs, getting them ready for some more intense movements, but we want to do that. We're loosening up the back. Again, work the upper back. But we're also targeting all the internal organs. Getting the kidneys, liver, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals. And it's not just loosening up the back, it's also helping strengthen all around the waist. In fact, if you take your hands, put them into your waist. Those muscles, they're flexing, they're tight, so it's all weight. Okay, whippy ski patrol. So we're just taking it to another level. Now we're working to strengthen the hips, the thighs, and the knees. As you bend the knees a little bit and you're bouncing side to side, you're working on the muscles and ligaments that help support the knee joint. You're also working to do the same on the hips. When you lift your shoulders up and down, you're helping to loosen the back, all up and down the spine. It also creates a pumping action. So as we're moving back and forth, we're pumping the lymph system and the circulatory system as well. See, if we were to do it on the ground, we'd hit a hard surface, shattering the nervous system, building up stress or tension in the body. The Cellerciser helps to release the stress and the tension. It's just wonderful. All right. Okay, jogging. And if you put your hands here, we want to focus, go easy if you're not ready. But the objective is to lift the knees up. So we're working the core. And then when we're done with this one, we're going to take it to another level. And even when I have a bar to hold on to, you control you can increase intensity and get better results. Okay, stomach run. We're tilting backwards some. The moment we tilt backwards, all of those muscles are tight. So this is the isometric with the isotonic. You can feel how tight your stomachs are. If you tilt your head back slightly, you work underneath the chin too, as well as the face. Okay, twist. Loosen everything out. Now we're going to start working on muscles. One thing that I didn't add into this, which I will, is the breathing technique, because that's an exercise for our bronchioles and lungs that most people don't understand. Okay, shoulders up, elbows out, push in. You ever want to see how this really works? Take off your shirt and do it in front of a mirror. You'll see all those muscles tightened up among the chest. And then as you're bouncing up and down, just adding more weight. Okay, now we're going to pull apart. Arch your back a little bit, shoulders, and we're pulling apart. And you should feel that in your shoulder blades and shoulders if you're doing it right. Okay, we're going to do this again. Okay, push in. It seems too easy. I'm not feeling the burn. Well, your body is. And you may be, some of you may be sore tomorrow, but you don't have the kind of soreness you do if you were causing inflammation or tearing down. Okay, pull. You can control the intensity by how hard you pull. I suggest start off easy now, and we'll build that later. Okay, arm curls. Three, two, 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2. This is a little faster than I normally take it. We'll probably make that change on the app too. This is still effective. Kind of bear down on that. This is how I pull up my arms. And when you get to the point, pretty soon, when you burn up the oxygen and glucose and sugars, you start to feel the burning a little bit. in the arm. Yeah, you know you're working it. Now when you're doing this, if you tighten your buttocks and your stomach, and you're doing more isometrics with an isotonic as well. Okay. Switch arms. Look like it switches. I feel like it that. It's not that hard. We're working more on muscles than we are on aerobics. Even though Cellercise really, because you have 75 trillion cells flexing over 100 times a minute, it's pretty aerobic. And again, without a jarring effect, which cumulatively can be damaging. I think every household should have one of these. You can do other things if you want, but there's so much benefit to the Cellercise. And you've all heard me say it. It's been called the closest thing to the fountain of youth yet devised by man.
Is this workout on the app?
Yeah. This workout will be on the app. Okay.
When?
Hopefully at the end of this week. We're just checking on the three. There's 3 movements for children that had issues, which I think were kind of funny, but we had to get it so the legs would work and the arms would work, and they say that they've done that, so I'll know more tomorrow. We'll have a board meeting, and hopefully we'll have good news. So I'll ask Christine, I'm sure she's online, to do an update this week, as soon as I know. So you'll have to wait 2 weeks. But we do have the wireless modules now available too. They're not on our website. There will be. We've got Jeff working on those out right now, and they should be on this week. But if you want to, since we have a limited number of them, if you want to get the wireless module, which puts that, you can see the calories that are being burned and the number of bounces that we are doing on the Cellerciser. So, you know, and if you tighten your stomach and your buttocks, you just get fast results. So the reason I like the Rebounder App is because of the additional things we're going to be doing to it to keep you motivated. And I'm not going to talk about those now because things take longer to finish them.
Is this routine going to cost anything, or does it just come with an update?
Yes, okay, good question. The movements are going to have a small fee to add. It's not very expensive. But you can pick whatever. There's going to be over 40 movements. So you can pick the movements you want. That's one way. We'll have a package deal, so you can get a discount if you just buy them all. And we're working right now on a program that if you don't want to pay for it, you can earn it. And you earn it by doing the different routines. And once you've done a certain number of routines, you get to pick one of the movements. So technically, you don't have to buy anything. But again, the whole purpose of the app is to help motivate you to get results. And by the time, if you're going to do it that way, by the time you have all the avatars, all the movements, you're going to feel pretty fit. Okay, so we're pushing down and pulling up. It doesn't show them pulling up, but I'm doing that way. And you're gonna feel that in the shoulders in a few moments. So it's a good exercise for really strengthening the triceps. It's working on the bicep on the other arm. And it's also working on the shoulders. And if you can't do the movement up and down, just hold it. Just push down and pull up. That works too. So do it at your comfort level. Upper body strength too. Okay, so now we're going to switch arms. We're going to do the same thing but the other direction. I don't know if you can see the wind behind me, but it's just been nuts out there. Walk outside, it's all dusty. So allergy season is really, really bad right now. People are really feeling it. So again, for those who do suffer allergies, Cellercising can absolutely help relieve the symptoms of allergies while you're Cellercising. And if you have a stuffy head or stuffy nose and moving up and down, again, it's like shaking up the blockages. It just clears it. It can take a few minutes, but it can clear the sinuses.
What will this routine be called?
Strength number 1.
Will it be under a certain section?
Yeah, I haven't decided what section to put it under. No. Well, what section do you think I should put it under? We'll probably put it under the advanced section because there are some advanced movements that we're also going to do. Okay, we're loosening up the shoulders a little bit, and we're going to do that one again. All right, so again, up and down. I don't know about you, but I can feel it. So my shoulders are screaming. It feels good. I want to thank all of you who don't have a Cellerciser who are also joining us. We adopt you as part of the family, and if you ever have any movements, ideas, suggestions, by all means, send them to us. This is the Cellercise family. It's whatever we can do to support each other, so thank you. All right, we're going to switch arms. Back to the other one. Anybody feeling this?
So when you say change arms, are you holding one wrist and then the other?
Yeah, you're actually pushing down on this arm now, whereas I was pushing down the tricep on the other arm. So if you look at it, the back is down this way and then down this way. See, it's not as tiring because, again, it's more muscle building. It's not, you know, high intensity aerobic weight loss. We're building muscles. And the beauty of the app is that you can create lots of different routines. Oh, life is.
Do you want to answer questions now or after?
Do what?
You want to answer questions now or after?
Oh, questions? Oh, I can answer questions.
Do you have any ideas for the sacroiliac joint?
Yeah. But I can't show you yet. We did routines on the last program where I showed how to target the lower back. And those routines were recorded. They're on the YouTube. Okay, this is more advanced now, guys, so you can just do this if you want. But I'm going to go this way. If you clap your hands behind you, you'll really start to loosen those shoulders more too. That little button at the bottom of the screen can allow you to slow down or speed up the movements. Try to keep up with him. Okay, this is more advanced. We're going to start feet on the ground. I'll just take you through some of the movements, but when you do it, you may do each movement for a longer period of time. Okay, we lift one leg up and feel how tight your stomach is. This is working the lower abdominals. If you're not comfortable doing this, keep your hands on the mat and support your back. Lifting the other leg up. You can guess what's coming next. But if you're not comfortable with that, keep your feet on the ground and just tilt backwards a little bit. You're still working your core. Crunch. What do we call this? Hip, or I forgot the name of it. Okay, back up. We're gonna loosen the lower back. This is a good one for the sacroiliac joint too. If you lift your shoulders up and down, you can start to really loosen those muscles. And now the twisting helps us to increase circulation. As we're moving fluid up and down, we're also causing the muscles to feed that circulation between the vertebral joints to the disc. Okay, stomach again. Now, if you want, just jog and tilt a little bit. This offers more leverage. Okay, side to side. And if you want to know how effective this is, just take your hand, grab your waist. It's very effective. You tilt your body just a little bit with the bounce, it offers a little more leverage. Okay, one more for the back. And if you want to, you can do the arms over your head, but you'll find that holding onto the bar, you can lean forward a little bit more, which creates a little more leverage on the buttocks and the back. Twist. Well, we've done over 3,500 steps. We've burned so far over 240 calories. And we're almost done. This is a cool down. See, I don't know about you, but the time just flies by for me. It's a lot of fun. And that's what I found about the Mr. Rebounder app. It's if you're watching a television show and you put on the routine, you're watching the show. It'll ding in between each movement. You continue to watch the show. And I know many of you know what I'm talking about, but that's what makes it so convenient. Okay, now become a rag doll. Just relax shoulders, back, buttocks. Don't fall off. Just gently move up and down. Well, thank you. And thanks for being a part of the program tonight. Please feel free to share it with other people. I'm going to answer a few questions. And if you have some, please go ahead and type them in. Yes, Brooklyn?
How many days a week can you do this routine?
Oh, you do it every day a week if you want. Absolutely, you'll burn some calories, but we burned over 250 calories, which is what I thought when we got on. I said we're going to burn about 250 calories, and that's what it was. So if you wanted to, you could continue to go. If you feel good, if you have the wireless monitor, it'll continue to count for you, and it'll time out if you don't keep it going. But if you do keep it going, you can see it continues to count the number of bounces. So if you want to go to 5,000 bounces and burn more calories, you can do it.
Do you have any ideas for the sacroiliac joint?
If you lift your elbow up over your head and you tilt slightly to the left, you take all these muscles here and you open them up. As we open them up, we want to also increase circulation, take pressure off the nerve, increase circulation to the disc. So by gently moving this direction and moving up and down, we can take our right foot and we can cross it in front of the left foot. And we actually have these movements on the Mr. Rebounder app from the last session, and they will be included. And you do the same thing on the other side. They'll be included as soon as we test these movements. And hopefully tomorrow we have no more glitches. And we are, honestly, I've been an open book. I'll let you know when I've gone through my discouragements. You've gone through the discouragements right along with me, and I know. But it looks like it's literally ready to go. And I'm excited about that. So we've got over 30 different movements in our current library of movements. And many of you know, again, how to create your own routine. So you go to create a workout here at the bottom, and you add movements. And you'll see all the movements that we have. And a lot of these are the new movements now. So, whoops. So you can see that we are that close. The reason I held off on it is because I have a, you guys, I'll share it with you. It's going to be a surprise. So, but I want kids to be, this is a special avatar for children, and we developed it. And it's a spaceman or a spacewoman. And kids, now parents, you can tell your kids if they're not getting enough exercise, which has been a problem. You can let the kids know, hey, go get on the Mr. Rebounder app. You can watch your show, but you pick a routine that's appropriate for them. And now they can do the routine with the animated, these little animated characters that we created. And we've got more surprises coming, but that's the holdup, because the little spaceman was running and his leg was broken, so he was doing all these things and it wasn't working, or the head was tilted and it looked weird. So I said, no, we got to fix that. So again, open book, letting you know what we've been up against. I hope you know I'm doing the best that I can to make this work for everybody, and I really thank you for being a part of it with me, because that's what it's been. It's been a joint effort. So.
Can you still build muscle if your feet never leaves the mat?
Oh yeah. Yeah, can you still build muscle with your feet never leaving the mat? Absolutely. Just so you know, if you take your fingers, our skeletal system, for example, it is held up by muscles. It can't support itself. We get a lot of joint problems because the supporting muscles and ligaments around the joint have either been injured or weakened, and so they don't support it well. So when we strengthen those supporting muscles and ligaments, very often those joint problems slowly fade away. So if you take your fingers, for example, and you just grab these muscles up here, these muscles help hold up our posture. We've had great customer reviews of people who were slumped over and they'd look at themselves in the closet mirror and all of a sudden they were standing erect again. Wow. Well, if you take these fingers and you grab these muscles with your fingertips, hold on to the muscles, it just bounce up and down a little bit. You're going to feel the weight on those muscles over and over and over. If you grab the deltoid shoulder muscles and you bounce up and down, you're going to feel the weight. Well, that increase of weight's not just on these muscles. You can grab this, right the midsection, stomach muscles, bounce up and down, dig into those muscles with your fingertips, and you're going to feel those muscles expanding and contracting. That effect is going on throughout the entire body, everywhere. So literally, it's, when I tell people I do a 10-minute a day routine, I do a 10-minute a day routine. That's 10 minutes of every single muscle flexing over 100 times a minute with weight on. Plus I do all the different movements that just enhance its effectiveness. Anything else, Brooklyn? All right, thank you. Thanks for being a part. Thank you for sharing. Please, if you have a customer review or an experience on the Cellerciser, or you know somebody who's had one, you want to share that with us, please share it, because it's helping to keep everybody else motivated and inspired to reach their greater health potential. We all have a greater health potential. I want you to be able to reach it, enjoy it, have a better quality of life, and be able to share that with other people. Thank you for being a part of the family. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. If you have any questions, we are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Mountain Standard Time. If you know of any large groups that would like a guest speaker, you know, I'm thinking about going back on the road again. On the road again, I've heard that. And I just love working with people. And with the COVID, I kind of missed that. So I don't know what around the corner, but there's another one. I heard there's a bird flu that's really bad. Canada headed down this direction. And there's all this talk again about all the stuff we've been through. If you know somebody and they could benefit from a Cellerciser, thank you for sharing it and making a difference for us so that we can keep going and we can continue to develop as best we can programs that are going to be able to assist you wherever you are in your own personal fitness and health. Thank you again. Remember, we don't have to work out. We know how to play in. And again, many thanks. We'll see you in a couple weeks.